The F-15 Eagle, and its modern evolution, the F-15EX, represent a remarkable story of air superiority, adaptability, and enduring relevance. From its inception during the Cold War to its transformation into one of the most advanced 4.5-generation fighters in the world, the F-15 is not just a jet, it's a symbol of dominance in the skies. Let's dive deep into what makes the F-15 Eagle a living legend and how the F-15X is redefining multirole combat capability in the 21st century. The story of the F-15 begins in the late 1960s, a time when the U.S. Air Force was shocked by the performance of Soviet aircraft in Vietnam, particularly the agile MiG-21. Despite having technologically advanced aircraft like the F-4 Phantom, the U.S. suffered heavy losses due to lack of maneuverability and the absence of a dedicated air superiority platform. The result was a shift in doctrine: air superiority needed to be regained at all costs. Thus, in 1969, McDonnell Douglas, now Boeing, was awarded the contract to build what would become the F-15. The original F-15A took its first flight in July 1972, and from the outset, it was a beast. Designed around the philosophy that, not a pound for air-to-ground, the F-15 was optimized purely for air dominance. Its twin-engine layout, combined with an incredibly powerful radar, the APG-63, meant it could detect, track, and engage enemy aircraft at unprecedented ranges. With a thrust-to-weight ratio greater than 1, the Eagle could accelerate while climbing vertically, a feat unmatched at the time. What really set the F-15 apart, however, was its kill ratio. In over 4 decades of service, the F-15 has claimed over 100 air-to-air victories without a single combat loss. Countries like Israel, Saudi Arabia, and the U.S. have used the Eagle in various conflicts, consistently proving its worth. Whether it was Israeli F-15s downing MiGs over Lebanon or U.S. Eagles dominating Iraqi aircraft in Desert Storm, the F-15 earned its reputation through real-world performance. But the jet didn't remain static. Over the years, multiple variants were developed. The F-15C, for instance, added improved avionics and structural enhancements. The F-15E Strike Eagle, introduced in the late 1980s, broke the "no air-to-ground" rule and transformed the jet into a potent multirole platform. With conformal fuel tanks, laser-guided bombs, and terrain-following radar, the Strike Eagle became a backbone of U.S. air campaigns in Iraq, Afghanistan, and Syria. However, with the introduction of stealth fighters like the F-22 and F-35, many assumed the days of fourth-generation fighters like the F-15 were numbered. But that assumption underestimated the platform's adaptability. Enter the F-15EX, also known as the Eagle II, a modern, heavily upgraded version designed to complement fifth-generation fighters, not replace them. The F-15X leverages the F-15QA variant developed for Qatar but includes features specific to U.S. operational requirements. It's not just an update, it's practically a new aircraft. The most significant improvement is the inclusion of the APG-82 AESA radar, giving it powerful multi-target tracking and electronic warfare resistance. Its electronic warfare suite, the EPAWSS, allows it to detect, jam, and counter threats with incredible precision, bringing its survivability into the modern era. But what's perhaps more impressive is its ability to carry an unmatched weapons payload. While the F-22 and F-35 have internal weapon bays to preserve stealth, they're limited in payload. The F-15X, on the other hand, can carry up to 29,000 pounds of munitions on 12 hardpoints. This includes a mix of air-to-air missiles like AIM-120 AMRAAMs and AIM-9X Sidewinders, as well as air-to-ground ordnance such as JDAMs, small-diameter bombs, and hypersonic weapons like the AGM-183 ARRW in the future. The jet also supports open mission systems architecture, allowing the U.S. Air Force to plug-and-play new software and hardware without massive redesigns. This future-proofs the platform in a rapidly evolving digital battlefield. Another key improvement is the cockpit. The F-15X features a large area display, similar to that of the F-35, providing pilots with intuitive, customizable information layouts. The fly-by-wire system, which replaces mechanical linkages with electronic controls, not only enhances handling but also simplifies maintenance and reduces weight. Speaking of maintenance, one of the most compelling arguments for the F-15X is its cost efficiency. While 5th-gen fighters are extremely capable, they are also expensive to operate. The F-15X has a significantly lower cost per flight hour compared to the F-35, and because it shares about 70% of parts with legacy F-15s, the existing infrastructure, maintenance crews, and pilot training pipelines can be reused, saving time and money. This makes the F-15EX particularly attractive for roles that don't require stealth but demand range, speed, payload, and survivability. For instance, homeland defense, airbase protection, or strikes against non-peer threats. It also serves as a missile truck in buddy teams with stealth jets. While the F-35 sneaks in undetected and identifies threats, the F-15X can launch a barrage of missiles from a distance. In terms of performance, the F-15X maintains the legendary kinematics of the original Eagle. Its twin Pratt & Whitney F-100 or GE F-110 engines provide a top speed of Mach 2.5 and a service ceiling of 60,000 feet. Its acceleration, climb rate, and turn performance are still competitive against most non-stealth aircraft in the world today. Boeing has also focused on longevity. The F-15X is built with an airframe rated for 20,000 flight hours, almost double that of the earlier variants. This means it can remain in frontline service well into the 2040s, perhaps even the 2050s. Now, let's talk about survivability in a high-threat environment. Critics of the F-15EX point out its lack of stealth. It's true, the Eagle X has a large radar cross-section compared to 5th-gen aircraft. However, it's not intended to be a frontline stealth penetrator. Instead, it plays a complementary role. Combined with standoff weapons, electronic warfare capabilities, and data links like Link 16 and IFDL, the F-15X can fight effectively as part of a larger networked force. Moreover, the U.S. Air Force is looking at pairing it with loyal wingman drones and AI-based systems, allowing the F-15EX to command and deploy uncrewed systems into contested areas. This type of manned-unmanned teaming further expands its utility and survivability. Internationally, the F-15 platform remains popular. Japan operates its own heavily upgraded F-15Js and is upgrading them further with modern avionics. Saudi Arabia fields the F-15SA, one of the most advanced current variants. Qatar's F-15QA is essentially the direct predecessor to the F-15EX, and even Israel continues to rely on the F-15I for deep strike missions. The F-15X represents a fascinating blend of old and new, retaining the brute force and elegance of Cold War airframes while integrating 21st-century avionics, weapons, and mission flexibility. In a time when stealth and digital warfare dominate headlines, the F-15X is a reminder that raw speed, altitude, payload, and proven reliability still matter. There's also a psychological factor. When adversaries see an F-15EX loaded with a dozen air-to-air missiles or hypersonic weapons, they have to factor that into their calculus. It serves not only as a combat asset but as a deterrent. The message it sends is clear: the skies are still guarded by the Eagle. Pilots who have flown both the older Eagles and the X variant often praise the new jet for its ease of use, digital integration, and sheer power. One pilot described it as the most advanced non-stealth fighter I've ever flown, and possibly the most survivable. As warfare continues to evolve toward multi-domain operations, where air, sea, space, and cyber must be integrated seamlessly, the F-15X is well positioned. Its radar can track hundreds of targets simultaneously. Its data links allow it to act as a command node. Its payload lets it strike hard and fast. And its open architecture means it will continue to evolve alongside emerging threats. In conclusion, while the F-15 Eagle's legacy was built on air superiority, the F-15X is ensuring that legacy continues into a new era of warfare. It doesn't try to be stealthy, because it doesn't need to be. It's not just a fighter, it's a weapons platform, a battle manager, and a force multiplier. Whether you're watching it streak across the sky at an airshow, or reading about its next deployment, one thing is clear: the Eagle is far from done. In fact, it's soaring higher than ever.